Hey guys, this is the Fight Nerd, and if I look a little taller, it's because I'm standing on a platform that's about 8 inches off the ground, just to try and meet the height of Mr. Jeff Blatnick here. Mr. Blatnick, how are you today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
We're here today at the Beat the Streets Wrestling Gala fundraiser here in the middle of Times Square. This thing is huge. I mean, just your initial thoughts on being here and looking at this place.
Well, I think people got to understand this is in the middle of Times Square. We are street level, right here in one of those little triangular corners, and I'm looking forward to it. I haven't seen a Russian-U.S. match, much less here in the middle of a street, but it's been a while since I've seen a full one, so looking forward to it.
Now, the question I'm asking everybody today is, why is wrestling so important to have in high schools and middle schools and colleges? Why is it so important to have this program going around all over the place?
Well, I mean, Beat the Streets wanted to spread the word of wrestling, and New York City really didn't have any. So to be able to increase the high school participants and then get to them early, started in the middle school, and they started it from scratch in the middle school. So I think it's important. I mean, there's a huge athletic talent pool down here in the city, and kids are looking for something to do. Provide it to them, and you know, with the strength of MMA today and how popular that is, wrestling is one of the quote-unquote prerequisites, one of the skills you really got to learn how to do, and here's a great way to go ahead and do it. So I'm all for it. Our sport's taken the brunt of a lot of budget cutting moves by colleges. I mean, we're down to 70 some odd Division I programs, and there used to be over 200. And I have a daughter, so for me it's kind of hard. I look at it as, hey, I want my daughter to be able to compete at whatever she wants, but not at the expense of my son. You might say, hey, we don't have an opportunity, but it seems to me that wrestling is being targeted. It's almost genocide, and that's a terrible thing, and I don't see why. It's been around a long time. It's profitable. Our NCAA National Championship makes a lot of money, and you can see it's a pretty popular thing.
Yeah, we can tell. We'll get shots to the audience, but this place is packed all around the streets here. Now, I want to talk to you also about some MMA things. Recently, UFC 129, Randy Couture just retired finally. And I know you've been calling this match since his first match ever.
13. UFC 13.
UFC 13, the debut.
13 is when Randy debuted, and he beat Tome, right? The professional wrestler. But I was with Randy training for Olympic tryouts and the trials for a number of years. I got to watch him when he was at Oklahoma State when he first marked Kerr in the finals. So it's kind of funny to see how these names not only were in national championships for wrestling, but went on and were great names in the sport of MMA.
Now, do you think this is really the end for Randy Couture, or are we going to see him back in the octagon?
You never know what kind of a money match and a draw match you can put together. Randy's a freak, and I don't mean that in a bad way. Randy Couture to me is a hero. I mean, look at him at his age, and he can go with anybody. And I'm 53, and I am not a Randy Couture right now, so I have got nothing but respect for that guy, and hopefully, who am I to tell him when his body is ready? So I just hope Randy makes the right decision. I'd hate to see Randy ever get hurt, just as I would hate to see any fighter get hurt in the octagon, but Randy has given so much to MMA. I'd hate to see MMA take something from Randy.
I'll make this last question real quick because we're actually getting ready to start the event now, so we're going to wrap this up. But why do you think wrestling has been such a dominant force in mixed martial arts?
You know, I look at skill sets, and you have guard, you have submissions, you have strikes, but the one variable that can really change a fight is a takedown. And I think wrestlers are masters of takedowns. And because of that, if they can't deal with stand-up, they can put it down. And, when you're able to change the dynamic of a fight, the environment of the fight from standing to ground, that's a pretty big swing as far as strategy goes. So the way I look at it is that's probably why, that and the training that you get when you are a elite wrestler, 6 minutes hard, not many sports force you to do that.
Well, Mr. Blatnick, we got to run because we're about to get things started, but thanks very much for your time. Appreciate
You're very, very welcome. Thank you.